afternoon. So today also we continue with classification of repertories. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
So yesterday we discussed about up to this classification, that is modern repertories are classified into two groups again, that is alphabetical repertory and anatomical repertory. So in alphabetical repertory we discuss about the examples of alphabetical repertory, that is Pathak's repertory and Murphy's repertory previously. Then anatomical repertory means the repertories which is arranged, or the arrangement of the sections in this repertory are according to the anatomical division of the body. So it is called as anatomical repertory, and the examples of this anatomical repertory are complete repertory, synthesis repertory, Kent's repertory. So these are the example of this anatomical repertory. Then other levels of classification. How the repertories are classified into the by other ways. So it is based on overall appearances, then based on internal formatting, and based on group characteristics. So we discuss one by one. First, based on overall appearance. So according to the appearance of the repertory. So as it is book repertory, it is in the form of book as we are using. Then is the repertory is in form of cards, as it is the card repertory, it is grouped into the card repertory. The book repertories are again separately classified, and the software packages, that is computer repertories. So these repertories are based on according to their appearance. So some are books, some repertories are in form of books, some repertories are in form of cards, and some are in form of softwares which many practitioners they are using nowadays. So these repertories are called as softwares or computer repertories. So according to the appearance of the repertory, according how the repertory is formatted, it is classified into these three groups, that is book repertory, card repertory, and software packages. Okay. Then based on internal formatting, that is it a Puritan group, or is it a logico-utilitarian group? This also we discussed yesterday, the Puritan group. This is we see or we discussed about this Puritan group in detail in previous lectures. That is, in this group the repertories, in these repertories, in Puritan group of repertories, these repertories are arranged, or in these repertories the symptoms are in the language of the same, in the language of the provers. They are not converted into the rubrics. Then it is also called as concordance repertory. So these repertories are nothing but Puritan group of repertories. Then examples of these repertories we discussed yesterday, that is Nair's repertory, Gentry's concordance repertory, which is given in 6 volumes. Then logical utilitarian group. The logico-utilitarian group or the logical utilitarian repertories, there the name was given because their arrangement and their according to their arrangement and according to their utility value, because these repertories they have their own principles, they have their own pattern of arrangement. According to their principles According to their philosophical background, these repertories are arranged. So these repertories are called as logico-utilitarian repertories. So we discussed these type of repertories previously, that is the Kent repertory, or in previous classification we discussed about the repertories which are based on some philosophical background. They are having their own philosophy, and according to their philosophy they are arranged. They are based on their own principles. So the examples are Boninuson's therapeutic pocketbook, Kent's repertory, Lippe's repertory. So these are the examples of logico-utilitarian group of repertories. Then based on group characteristics. What is group characteristic? That is general repertory, regional repertory, alphabetical repertory, concordance repertories, card repertories, and computer repertories. So we discuss one by one these group characteristics. Particular repertories. So what is particular repertories? These repertories are based on clinical orientation focused on certain particular states or particular diseased condition. So in short, these repertories are based on a specific clinical condition or disease condition. Specific state may be the modifying factor. It affords a high degree of specification in the particular area. As we discussed earlier, that is clinical repertory. These are based on a certain part, certain disease condition, whole person, part of the person, or organ of the person. It is again subclassified. So the particular repertories are nothing but clinical repertories. The examples are given here, that is diarrhea by James Well, then time modalities by Shed Phoebe. So these are the example of these type of repertories, that is particular repertories. Then what is comparative repertory? This is one of the latest repertories. It helps in differentiating the medicines within the rubric. So we can able to differentiate the medicine within the rubric. The example of such type of repertories are comparative repertory by Docks and Knockenberg. So this is the example of comparative repertory which help us in differentiating the medicines within the rubric. So what is pathogenic repertory? This is an index to symptoms. This is an index to symptoms as presented during the drug proving. It is useful when the pathological changes and objective symptoms form the only available database in a case. Means it is index of symptoms which is presented, the index of symptoms or the symptoms which are arranged in these repertories that we get from the or during the drug proving we get these symptoms. Then it is useful when the pathological changes and objective symptoms from the only available database in a case. When there is any pathological changes, and for such pathological changes or the pathological changes, they are worsening day by day. In such case, to find out the medicine based on that pathological change, we can use these repertories. So the example of these repertory, these type of repertory are repertory of drug Pathogenesis by Richard Hughes. So this is the example of such type of repertory. Then reference repertory means these repertories we use when we get a less number of symptoms, or especially in acute cases we refer the repertory, and immediately we cannot in acute cases, or when we get only 1-2 symptoms in such type of cases, especially in acute disease, we only refer the repertory. We cannot repertorize the case in proper way. So these are used for the reference purpose. These are not repertories in strict sense, but these books are handy for prescribing in acute cases and in cases with insufficient data. Means, as I told earlier, that is in acute cases, when we have to prescribe immediately to relieve the patient from his suffering, or uh, to give the relief, immediate relief, or to suppress the condition. When we prescribe the medicine in such case, or when we get very insufficient data while taking the case, then in such type of situation, in such type of cases, we use the repertories. These are called as reference repertories. And the example of such type of repertory is quick bedside prescriber by Single. So Single's repertory, it is the reference, it is said as the reference repertory. Then the therapeutic digest. These are miniature versions of repertories and deals mainly with a particular clinical condition. Means these repertories, when we have any particular condition, clinical condition, then we use the therapeutic digest. What is therapeutic digest? According to the disease condition, we get the group of medicines, indicated medicines. So with a particular clinical condition, these type of repertories or these type of digests, books, they are used. For example, Rouse Special Pathology and Therapeutic Hint. So this is the therapeutic digest or therapeutic repertory. Now we discuss about the uses and importance of different groups of repertories, as we know that, or we are going to discuss later on, the importance and uses of general repertories. But according to group Sorry for the disturbance. We will continue with the uses and importance of different group of repertory. In short, we discuss about the uses of the repertory because in detail the use and importance of repertory we will discuss it later on, but according to group, in short, we discuss general repertories for purpose of individualization according to principles of homeopathy. They are helpful. Then card repertories, less time consuming method, less laborious than that of actual paper and ink repertorization. It cuts down time needed in calculation of marks and analysis of repertorial result. Then it reduces eye strain by reducing the work of repertorization. It is very easy to handle. So these repertories are useful because they are less time consuming. Now you are not aware of how we can repertorize the case. So for repertorization of any case, there are repertory sheet, and we take the proper case, then we analyze the symptoms, then we evaluate the symptom, and after proper analysis evaluation we can form the totality of the case, and after forming the totality of the case we can convert the symptoms into the repertorial language, that is called as repertorial totality, and after making the repertorial totality we can find out the rubrics or the same rubrics in the repertory, and then write down the medicines or note down the marks according to the repertory, how many marks or in which grade which medicine is written in front of that medicine. So it is a very time consuming process, as well as the calculation, proper calculation, then proper analysis, proper evaluation, and proper forming of totality of the case it is required, and then only we can reach towards the proper result of the repertorization. Okay, so it is a very laborious process, and also with the physician who is going to repertorize the case, he should have the proper knowledge of repertorization. So the card repertories, comparing to the other repertories, it is less time consuming method, then less laborious than that of the actual paper and ink repertorization. It cuts down time needed in calculation of marks and analysis of repertorial result. Then it reduces the eye strain by reducing the work of repertorization. There is no need to do proper repertorization with repertory sheets, so it reduces the eye strain as well as it reduces the work of repertorization, and it is easy to handle. So this is the importance of card repertory. As the general repertories, they are helpful for us, helpful for individualizing the case, for individualizing the person. In this way the card repertories, they are helpful to save the time as well as to save the strain of eyes and laborious work of the physician. Then computer repertories, how these repertories are helpful, how these repertories are important for us. It saves it saves a lot of time and concentrate only on the patient. So nowadays many physicians, they prefer the computer repertories because it saves a lot of time. There is no need to do the paperwork. uh, then to search thorough materia medica for symptoms not found in repertory. the symptoms which we cannot found in the repertory, then we can able to search the same symptoms in the materia medica, because in computer repertories there are many materia medicas included in computer repertories. In different computer repertories, different number of materia medicas they are included. So these materia medicas we can able to refer easily when we cannot found the symptom in the repertory. Then to create data banks of cured cases and to be in contact via HomeoNet with homeopaths all over the world. So we cannot, there is no need to save the papers, so because the data is saved properly in small space in computer only, so there is no need to store the papers of the data of the patient, and anywhere we can go, then we can able to use this computer data anywhere, anytime. So it is easy to carry, then it is easy to save the data of the patient with the help of computer repertories. Then it is an excellent tool to collect information and have it ready to display in teaching or therapy. Then in teaching purpose, also this data, this information is very much helpful. Then for ready references, for reference purpose also, these computer repertories, in these computer repertories we can able to save the data properly, and so they are also helpful to us for the ready references. Then creates an impression on the patient. The number of options available for reference is immense, and the work is also very fast, also may also carry to the bedside in the form of laptop. So it is impressive in the OPD than the paper. If you have your laptop, your computer repertory on the table, then definitely it will impress the patient. Then we can able to do our work within few minutes. We can save our time and we can prescribe the patient very fastly, and we can carry this data anywhere, so it is easy to treat the patient if we are not in our OPD. Then concordance repertory. What is the other name for concordance repertory? Anyone? I had repeated the name, other name for concordance repertory many times. What is the name, other name for?
Puritan repertory.
Yes.
Puritan repertory.
So the other name, or it is also called as Puritan repertories. It is also called as the repertories which doesn't have any fixed philosophy in the background. So the concordance repertories, the symptoms can be found out easily and saves a lot of time, because the symptoms are arranged alphabetically in the language of the patient, and especially these type of repertories, they are not used for the proper repertorization, but these are used for the reference purpose, because with help of such type of repertories we can not able to repertorize properly the case. It is a great manual to refer to any needed symptom, but not useful for systemic repertorization. So this type of repertory, these are as I told just now, that is, they are not used for systemic repertorization, and it is a manual to refer to any needed symptom. Means when we have to found any type of symptom, then we just refer such manual. Then errors in converting the patient's symptoms into the rubric can be avoided. So many times what happen when we convert the symptom into the language of repertory, but we have found difficulties in searching the or in finding out that rubric in the repertory, because many rubrics they are misplaced in many repertories, or due to the lack of knowledge of arrangement of that repertory, the physician they cannot able to find out that rubric in the repertory, because many physicians, many homeopaths, they doesn't have the proper knowledge of that repertory whatever they are using. So every time while practicing in the OPD, you should have knowledge, you should have the proper knowledge of the philosophical background behind that repertory, about the arrangement of that repertory properly, and then only you can able to find out the symptoms, you can find out the rubric in that repertory properly. So in this repertory, with the help, so many times it was confusing, and we cannot able to find out the rubric. So such errors in converting the patient's symptom into the rubric, it was avoided, or it can be avoided. The reliability of the symptom and remedies is doubly ensured by repeated verification, observation, and confirmation. So the symptom is reliable, the remedies are reliable. It was ensured by repeated verification, repeated observation, repeated confirmations during drug provings, and then it was marked in these concordance or Puritan repertories. It serves as a guide for further works on repertory. So it guides us in the further work on the repertory. So when there is short note came on concordance repertory, Puritan repertory, or on computer repertory, then you should write down what are these repertories, examples of these repertories, and importance or use of these repertories. So when there is short note on computer repertory, then you should have write down these importance of computer repertories. There is you should mention these points in under computer repertories, as well as under in the same way under concordance repertories, these points, mentioning these points, it is must to mention these points, because the importance of concordance repertory, it is very much important to note down in the short note, or any short note in short answer question. In many times it was also asked for 20 marks. So for 20 mark question also, the importance of these repertories in short you have to mention. Then clinical repertory. So in detail we discussed about the clinical repertories. The importance of these repertories are they are used as a quick reference book at the bedside. So for the quick reference, according to the clinical condition, according to the pathological condition, we can able to find out the, or we can choose the group of remedies. So they are used as a quick reference books. Then helps us to find the most appropriate palliative medicine in incurable cases. So mostly the clinical repertories, they are helpful in incurable cases, because in incurable cases, the cases in which the pathology is too much advanced, and in such cases we have to give the temporary relief to the patient. We should palliate the condition, we should palliate the symptoms to give the temporary relief from the suffering to the patient. So in such case, to find out such palliative medicine, these clinical repertories, they are helpful, they are useful. Then helps in finding out the similimum in a specific clinical condition. So to find out the similimum in a specific clinical condition, if we have any specific clinical condition, as for example we take the clinical condition that is anemia. If we want to find out the medicines indicated for anemia, as this is against the principles of homeopathy, because we are not going to treat any pathological condition, but we should treat the person as a whole. We cannot consider his pathology